Hello, I'm Steve. A little about myself. I'm a retired law enforcement officer with 20 years of service. I began my career in the jail, worked the road, and became an investigator. During my career, my training consisted of everything from SWAT to becoming a state certified crime scene technician. I've investigated crimes from thefts to homicides. After retiring and becoming aware of true crime and web sleuths, I started my channel for web sleuths to better understand the perspectives of law enforcement. Not only do we cover true crime, I go out into the field and assist families who have lost loved ones to homicide and their cases are considered cold. Join me as we look and bring attention to these critical cases.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad you're able to join us tonight. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Um, Normally, we have a presentation and things, but currently I'm on the road, and I'll be on the road for probably the next 10 days or so, or longer. We've got a lot of stuff to do, and have been doing a lot of things. And I just wanted to check in because I hadn't been out and been working, trying to get all the last minute stuff last week before setting out on the road. And I left last Wednesday and finished collecting all the gear for our eDNA study, getting all the case files in order so that I could go out and meet with some of the cold case families that we work with through the True Crime Web Foundation. If you're new to the channel, but pretty well, we have two parts of the True Crime Web. We have the True Crime Web Foundation that does cold case work for the families, and it's separate because it's a nonprofit. And then we have the True Crime Web YouTube channel, which is this community here, which is extremely supportive and allows me to go out and take off time from work, and absolutely amazing, my community. And so I wanted to check in. I wanted to be in earlier, but I had extremely last 3 days been pretty busy. Had certain developments that happened on one of our cases, discovered some new evidence, and so that case is moving forward. We were excited about it, had an extremely long day, and then of course, as you meet new families and you speak with them, and try to have a better understanding of those cases, that's what I've been doing. I kind of I hadn't shaved today. Last night I slept on the side of the road. I didn't. So tonight be the first night in about 48 or 72 hours I'll have access to a bed, and I appreciate that. But it's just part of the job, and whenever you haul a lot of equipment, and you don't always, sometimes you're just too tired to check into a hotel because you have to unload a lot of stuff. And I don't travel light. When I'm out traveling, this is the back of the van that I have currently. What you see over here on the lower corner right here, right there, that's that picket or that fence that the artist from Florida painted. He disassembled it, and it's a memorial for Lyric and Elizabeth up in Evansdale. And so I'll be delivering that. I spoke to Drew earlier today, and so I'll be delivering it this week, and so that they'll be able to reassemble it for the memorial for Lyric and Elizabeth. And but that's some of the equipment, the items. Let's see how this stuff works. The items in the yellow container, that's all the eDNA lab work. Then it's kind of hard to ride in the front seat because I've got stuff scattered and from one end of the van to the other, and from one side to the other, and so I keep everything pretty well full, and there's a lot of things that go on. And anytime you're traveling, like I said, I'm going to be on the road, and I try whenever I'm on the road, so have everything as organized as I can. There's nothing worse than getting somewhere and not having everything necessary to complete whatever job you're on. Let's check on chat. If you have any questions or if you have any news, I've been on the road for a week. I don't know what's going on out there. I had uh, on the way up this. I got to meet with another creator earlier, and we spoke about some of breaking news. But if you have any breaking news, absolutely let me know. Hello, Farmer. Hello, Bama Sin, Marion Tate, Olivia too. Just going to try to stay awake. That's good. Yep, I'm going to try to stay awake. I am too. Uh, like I said, I've had a long day. I think I got up this morning. Like I said, I slept on the side of the road. I think I got up this morning around 6:30. And what time is it now? It's what 11 or so in Atlanta. Let's see here. Mitzi Scott, good to see you. Yes, the travels. Mitzi says, I hope your travels are going well. Yes, they are. Uh, the first part of my trip is totally focused on the cold case families, and then in the next day or two, I'll be heading west for the eDNA. Southern Gal, True Crime, good to see you. Cecil Hotel, good to see you. Jill Moser. But yeah, I just wanted to check in and see what if y'all could tell me what's going on in the world, because as you travel across the country, there's not a lot of news coverage in the old vehicles. Thank you. Already gave a thumbs up, Mr. Steve never disappoints. That's very kind of you. Thank you. CJK, good to see you. Had a good start on Florida week. I heard that there was a couple of the creators had already started creating some stuff on that. Excellent. Michelle C, good to see you. Yeah, my bright red shirt. I've got my suitcase is huge. I've got it absolutely uh, packed to the gills, so that I don't have to wash any clothes, or so that I don't damage Mrs. Steve's washer when I get back home. I'll wear it out. Miranda Lee, good to see you. On the mileage so far, I think in the first, let's see, the day is what, going on Tuesday, maybe something like that. And so I think I'm somewhere. I'm over 2,000. I'm not quite 3,000 miles yet, but I'll be hitting that in probably the next 12 to 14 hours. I'll got some work I got to do tomorrow. I've got a pretty short work day. 8 or 9 hours of working on some cases, and then after that, I'll be heading west. Drive until I get tired. Christian behind the crime door. Hello. Um, Actually, I had supper with Kristen behind the crime door, and she took a picture. And I don't know if you can see it on this phone. She took a picture for proof that I exist. Um, Let me see. It's here somewhere. She, her camera was giving her all kind of trouble there, and there we are outside the restaurant. I enjoyed it. Had a really nice. I guess it wasn't quite lunch, and it wasn't quite supper, but enjoyed the time. We had a great conversation. Yeah, the that artist. If you haven't seen the video I don't have the link up. I just got checked into the hotel, and I'm lucky to make the show. But I don't have the link in here for the that video. But if you go to Ruckus's channel community page and go in there to the his community and go back 4 or 5, he has a link to that video of the memorial for Lyric and Elizabeth. Uh, that guy is extremely talented. Bama Sin said, "Oh, I didn't realize you were on a long road trip. Please be careful out in the field working. I can't wait to hear results of testing whenever you can share." And yes, we hope it is productive on the eDNA. The code case work is a long, tedious affair, and but the families are extremely appreciative when you speak to them, and it's absolutely amazing how much they appreciate everything that y'all do for them. And I pass it along to them every time that when I speak to them, that I explain that my community is the one that supports and allows us to go out there and do this. And they're extremely grateful to each and every one of you guys. And so I thank y'all. Southern Gal, that's a lot of stuff. Yes, it is. I've got it, like I said, when I checked in today or just a little bit ago, it took me, I think it was 2 or 3 trips with that little push cart. And I got one that I think it's supposed to have at least 4 wheels, and 2 of the 4 wheels may work. It made a lot of noise. Looks like a family car. It's a Pacifica. And the reason I get the Pacifica, of all the rental vehicles you can get, that one has the most floor space. That when I load it up to the window so I can still see out the back, um, and that it it has more storage and compartments. And then if you take everything out and you're taking people around to crime scenes or other things, or whatever you're trying to do, the seats, I think you can sit like 7 in that thing. It's the best rental vehicle I've ever had. Olivia too. Thank you. It's good to see y'all. Like I said, I've been missing y'all, and I hate that I'm not able to create content whenever I'm out. But like I said, the while the True Crime Web YouTube channel is extremely important, the foundation and the work it does is at the forefront for these families, and I appreciate y'all bearing with me during that. CJK says it's still crazy in YouTube land. Same Vile channel, Sebastian Drama, and more. It's absolutely amazing. My goodness. That looks like my Suburban to be gone a week. That's what Mama Sin says. You don't travel a lot. When Chris and I went out to Idaho, um, I had the Pacifica, and it was stacked from bottom because we stayed in the Timber Creek camping, and by the time we got all that stuff, uh, it was you couldn't see out the back windows, but it was also cold, and I took everything I owned, which I'm glad I did because Chris didn't carry all his winter wear. Olivia too says that there are some Delphi news today. Southern Gal says that I'm doing a floor live Wednesday night. Great. Bama Sin says, I'm pretty sure Karen Reed would not be guilty. Lots of reasonable doubt. That's the one with the police officer, I believe, correct? I had heard that also, that one of the, I guess, administrative positions. Okay. Olivia, too, says that McClellan, the prosecutor, says Brad Hoder isn't a perp in the Delphi murders. And so if that is the statement that's been released, you can pretty well say that no matter what comes down the path in the future, um, that Brad Hoder has ace in the hole for the fact that a prosecutor says he wasn't involved, isn't involved. And so you have to say that if a prosecutor is willing to go out on a limb to that extent, he knows exactly where Brad Hoder was, and he knows exactly what evidence there is, and it doesn't implicate Brad Hoder. And so Brad Hoder isn't a part of this. No matter what some people may say, that pretty well seals the deal. Yes, I don't know how many miles. I didn't figure out an estimate of how many miles it will be by the time I get back to Georgia, because it depends on what routes I come back. Because there's some other stuff I need to do even on my return trip, and if I have time, there's some follow-up work on some of the code cases I need to take care of on the way back, and so if I have the time, I absolutely would take care of that. BGOG, good to see you. Isis Garza says, "Hey Steve, you thought about buying a small enclosed trailer for your equipment?" Yes. At some point, there's as True Crime Web Foundation grows, and when we get into some of the search and recovery part of where we want to expand, as far as going out and doing a lot of the water searches and see if we can't assist these families in the recoveries of lost loved ones, that we probably will. We're going to have to outfit uh, the boat and whatever type of vehicle that would be needed to uh, be rented to pull it. And then, will we also at some point need a small trailer? Probably so. And the foundation, whenever we start buying the equipment for that, yes, that'll be bought. It'll belong to the foundation. The True Crime Web Foundation will own all that equipment and that trailer. Farmer says that he doesn't. Coaches kind of rubbed him the wrong way. Then the kid talks about me and he said, I never got along with the police too well either. Back then. That's funny, Farmer. I had a lot of we didn't sit down and have Thanksgiving, but I've met a lot of people in my life that I met in my career as a law enforcement officer, arrested a bunch of them. And, uh, just because people get in trouble and just because people go to jail every now and then, there's a lot of reasons to go to jail. And it's not all true evil. There's a lot of lesser included offenses out there that people do. And so there's still a lot of good people that every now and then you may see them in the back of the car, but it's not of the the great evil that we see in some of the other cases. Hello, Witchcraft. Good to see you. Christian says, it was wonderful finally getting to meet you. Absolutely. I enjoyed every moment with her. Extremely bright lady, well spoken, well spoken. I'm tired. Well spoken and very polite, and I enjoyed it. While she may be well spoken, I am not. Yeah. Thank you. And absolutely, Southern Guy. Uh, we were, Christian and I actually, we were discussing you and some other channels of what all y'all are able to do about bringing awareness to these cases. Absolutely appreciate each and every one of you guys. Uh, Farmer, I told him if he's in Indiana, I'd drive down there and take him to dinner, but he hasn't let me know yet. No, I wasn't in Indiana this time. I missed Indiana totally. Actually, I sure did. That now on the way back, I may go through Indiana. It depends on our timeline and whatever follow-up work I have to do on some of the cold cases. But I'm prepared to go. I need to go to Indiana, so there's still hope on the Indiana trip. Mitzi Scott has been a member for 15 months. True Crown Web rocks. Let's see, where's my, there it is. Thank you for your support. Let's see here. What's going on? True Crime Web road trip, and you didn't tell the boy? Yeah, the boys. No, I didn't tell everybody. Some of the on the cold case stuff. Some of like I said, there's a lot of the cold case work that's behind that no one will ever know, and there's some families that will that they will never that work that's done on them may not be released for quite a while, if ever, because I leave it up to the families that if they wish to pay it forward or give any type of recognition to the True Crime Web, that's totally up to them. I work just as hard for those that uh, wish to speak about me, and I try to do the best I can. A lot of long hours, but I do the best I can. I'm not as sharp as I used to be. Solar Chef, Gail Hurd is here. Olivia 2 says that Deb's True Crime Notebook has a 9-minute update. Okay, I'll need to go over and see if I can't watch, because I'm as lost as last year's Easter egg. I don't know what's going on out there right now. Oh, thermos, Bama Sin, $20 says thermos of coffee for those long road hours. Actually, I do have a thermos, and I fill it up in the mornings, and it usually uh, I can get about let's see, 30 to 45 miles before my thermos is out. Thank you. Keep it up there and do it. Thank you, Bama Sin. Much appreciated. Let's see here. Thank you, Olivia, too. She put the link up there to the nonprofit. Miranda says, True Crime Way, can you be in chat for Southern Girl True Crime Floor live on Wednesday? Uh, Probably not. On Wednesday, I'll be somewhere between the Midwest and California. And I have I've got to cover I don't know, probably close to 1,000, 1,500 miles in the next 24 to 36 hours, and so I probably won't make it. Might be able to make it uh, late at night. Just depends. I'll see. I'm gonna try to come on um, in next day or two for my next follow up. Bama Sam says, yes, that's the police officer case. You would not be happy with a couple of those officers. Yeah, I've heard that they used um, coffee cups and everything and shopping bags or plastic bags and a leaf blower. You never can go wrong. I mean, what could go wrong with a leaf blower at a crime scene? Uh, couldn't they find a riding lawnmower and just ride it through it? That might have, I think that might have messed it up a little bit more. I'm just being facetious there with it, but sometimes you see some of the things that just don't make any sense. Gail Hurd has been a member for 10 months. Uh, and she sent me a package and says, having trouble getting the tracking to work. You know, some of those tracking numbers and some of the, I sent a registered letter. Um, I think it was, it's a couple months ago, and it took almost 40 days for the United States Postal Service to. It was over a month before they could, and it was one of those that was registered and had to be signed for, and absolutely amazing. Witchcraft. Hey, Olivia 2 and CDK finished the shawl with crocheting and now working on a purse. So you're listening. Mrs. Steve crochets. I've sat there and watch her. You don't want me around any kind of needle. Gail Hurd gifted 1 True Crime Web membership. Thank you. Appreciate that. If I can get it turned off. Let's see here, good people. Oh, y'all crack me up sometimes. This is, I hope that's not the case, that the funds that were raised for experts for Richard Allen, hopefully that didn't go to Hennessy's bar tab. Oh, that's clever, though. Are you still working on Dior Coon's case? Um, there will be some work done on it in the future. And I spoke to some people that are working on the case, and we may collaborate and work on it with them. I've been asked to travel out there in the future with a team, and so I probably will go back out. Farmer said he's never been arrested. So your police interactions were just field interviews. Okay. And Gail Hurd gifted another True Crime Web membership. Thank you. I don't have a desk over here. When I set up everything, I didn't get everything level. What a great reply. Cecil Hotel. They suffer in silence. I appreciate that type of humor. Y'all are making my nights, guys. I appreciate this. Like I said, it's good to be able to just sit and relax for a few minutes and um, see the interactions of my community. Uh, Southern Gal says, "Thank you so much. That's the highest compliment I could get." I, excuse me, I admire all these creators such as Southern Gal. That if you look at them, there's a lot of channels out there that they absolutely work their tails off to bring awareness to these cases, and they create flyers, they uh, create short uh, videos. Absolutely amazing the work they put into it, and and they do it for one thing: to bring awareness, to try to have an impact on what is happening across this country. And you can only bow down to them and thank them for everything they do. And Marion says, "We thank True Crime Wheel Foundation for all that you do for us. It's an honor, and I appreciate that I have the opportunity. I've been very well blessed to it." There's Barbara. Says, "Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late. Good to see you. If y'all don't know who Barbara is, look up Timmy D's case. And that's Barbara. She is the mother. Absolutely one of the, is so inspiring when you speak to her, and you can only admire everything uh, that she's done to find justice for Timmy." Um, Southern Guy says, "Haven't you said you use a rental van? How long does it take you to clean it out before you have to return it?" Uh, Loading it now on this trip, whenever I unload the memorial fence, that'll take about a fourth of what's in the back out. Um, so sometimes, uh, if I'm really packed and if I'm going to be out, like if I do go back to Timber Creek camping, um, that's probably the longest pack period and unpacking period, um, because you have to get everything organized whenever you're going to be up. When you're up in those mountains and in that remote areas, and some of the stuff that we're going to do this week is pretty remote. That's how come I have to have everything, because I can't run to a corner store and get what I need. And so you just have to be prepared. But, you know, I start loading uh, 24 hours before I go on a trip. And typically I always wind up uh, remembering at the last moment, what did I forget? I have a checklist, but you always forget something. And then the unloading is a lot easier, but after you get it unloaded, the sorting it out and cleaning it up takes a while. Kristen behind the crime door has been a member for 21 months. Honored to be a member of this community. Thank you. She was my first member. Farmer's going to be buying him a Mercedes. Uh, was this the California trip? Yes. Well, I haven't made it to California. Um, I hope to make it to California probably in the next, see what, at least 6, maybe 7 days before I'll see California. And then whatever work we finish up there, and as we come back heading east, we've got some more work to do. Some of the work, I have no idea what the timetable and timeline will be, because we're doing things that hasn't, that the I'm sure that the first part of the collection for the eDNA will be a learning curve, and by the time I get to the final cases that we collect for, I should have it down pat, and it'll be a little bit quicker and faster. But we still don't know how many days we're going to be on the road. Farmer says, as soon as I hit the road to deliver, I will be stopping in random places for coffee with whoever I can. And I do, absolutely do. I've made a lot of good friends out there. Mr. Steve, you're the most awake and happy, tired person I've ever seen. That's me. I don't sleep a lot, guys. I really don't. You can ask Mrs. Steve. I stay up late, work long days, stay up extremely late, and but you give me 4 good hours of sleep, I'm pretty good. Hopefully it's cooler out west. It was 99 with heat index. Yeah, down in St. Louis, it was very nice. I mean, it was absolutely, you couldn't ask for better weather in St. Louis. Bama Sense says the Postal Service has the gall to be raising stamps, I believe, to 75 cents. Yes, Witchcraft, we need pictures of your crochet. Gil Hurd says, I crochet too. Southern Gal said, I found out how slow the USPS or United States Postal Service is back when I was making selling jewelry. Yeah, they work on their own holiday system. Aquarium $10 says, hi Steve and True Crime Web. Hope you have AC in your vehicle. I heard there's a heat wave out west. Stay safe. Yes, I do. Uh, I make sure that I have whatever. If I need heat, I make sure I have heat, or if I need AC, and I can't live without AC. Barbara, that's very sweet of you, very kind of you. True Crime Web Foundation rocks. That's very nice of you. No, not Hennessy, Bart. Hiccup. Oh gosh. LE would say things to me and friends like, get out of my town. Yeah, what were you doing in their town? Thank you, Marion Tate. She says, you're doing great, and we thank you and we know you're tired, and I'm still helping all of us and our families. Stay safe out there. Well, y'all made my night tonight, and I appreciate that. Uh, Miranda says, I've never been arrested, but I've had one traffic ticket about 22 years ago at True Crime Web. I'm trying to think, did I ever get a ticket? Um, I'm quite often surprised that uh, that as you travel through some of these other states, I know pretty much. I'm pretty good with the rules of the road in Georgia, but some of these other states they have weird things, and so I'm amazed that I don't get. I'm constantly not bombarded with tickets. Witchcraft says, Steve, you're a mess when you're on the road. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Thank you and Mrs. Steve for all you do helping these families. Yes, Mrs. Steve does a lot of work and makes sure that everything logistically, and that when I go on the road, and there's always something that comes up, and but she's able to make the contacts and the calls, because with some of the safeguards that we have as far as our credit cards and things, that when you get somewhere and you try to buy something, that if they say, well, you're not supposed to be out there, they they, they stop you. You can't use that card. So she has to fix things all the time. Barbara Hall says, thank you, Mr. Steve, for the compliment. It's not a compliment. It's the truth, guys. Absolutely inspirational. I mean, if you ever get a chance to meet her, absolutely. If you're ever up in that part of the country. Thank you, Gail. Justice for Timmy. Absolutely. Mama says, I think I sent you an email on Dior in the past couple of weeks I thought you might find interesting. I got some emails on him. I don't know which one in particular. Eh, Bama said, I got my license during the President Johnson, although he uh, has a descriptor in there with President Johnson. Cecil Hotel, $5. Thank you for your care for the victims and families. Thank you for your support. And the families, like I say, they absolutely appreciate. And I have, I owe everybody so much. Mary Tate say, all the stuff that you've seen and heard, I can understand why you don't sleep sometimes. It's not that. I was raised on a farm, and I guess some of my of that, of what happens when you live off the land, uh, prepares you for later in life whenever you are in law enforcement. But by the time that you go through all your training, and you're introduced in phases to all the things that can happen to a human, not only through traffic accidents, but violent encounters, being victimized, that by the time you get into the investigative part, and then you start going to training in schools, and you're seeing thousands and thousands of victims in every stage of what you can imagine, that you know you can pretty well just about see anything. And I have to be real careful, and I'm this is probably one of my biggest faults, and it's not probably one, it is one of my biggest faults, that I am so used to it, and I have seen so much, and I can be kind of just off the shoulder, not trying to be callous, but when I talk to these cold case families, um, while I may be extremely compassionate about it, I'm not as reflective in my voice of and understanding. And I catch myself sometimes, and I say, and I hate that I may verbally say something, and I don't have the proper reflection. But that's just due to everything I've seen. I don't think Mr. Steve's beautiful mind can shut down to sleep much. Um, yeah, this beautiful mind. If you could have seen me on the side of the road with a pillow, there's a pillow. I don't know if you can see the pillow in the pictures. That's a good. Did, had I loaded the pillow at that point? That no, I hadn't. These pictures don't have my pillow in it, so this was before I took it around upstairs and put in my final travel bag and my pillows. Um, but yeah, my beautiful mind. I don't think that's the proper description. Oh man. Well, I'm glad. Witchcraft says the weather's going to flip, and it's going to be hot on the East Coast and cooler on the West Coast. Perfect. That's what I want. Hello, Peggy. Good to see you. Southern Gal has a long history of bribing police. I got says I got away with a lot back in the day when I worked at the local pizza place and gave LE free food and drink. Barbara says I've had one speeding ticket. I'm trying to think in my family of misfits and minor incidents of who was the most. I think my actually, I think my mother-in-law has had more interactions with police that I've had to make phone calls back in the day when someone said, "Are you so and so?" And she say yes, and they say, "Well, have him call me about this speeding ticket." I think my mother-in-law is our is a is a is the black sheep in our family, although she doesn't drive anymore. Let's see. We got it right. I sent Kristen, Frank, and Steve the tracking numbers. Some good that's doing. I'm upset. I and I and it's so sad that you care so much and you send these wonderful things and the one part of the government or the one time that you rely upon the government that they fail you yet again. Yeah, let's see. Olivia too. It's scary that you sing so much. You're greatly appreciated. Um, like I said though, it's part of our training, and that's what we sign up for. Let's see. Thank you, Miranda. Says that you have the best members and subscribers. Absolutely, I have some really great both. Uh, Barbara says that Timmy's 89-year-old grandmother got a ton of tickets when she was here. Oh my goodness. Um, she loves, or she loved to speed. Mrs. Steve, I don't know how come they haven't told. I don't know how she doesn't get stopped. I really don't, because I sat over her in the passenger seat and just braced for impact. This is a. I'm gonna let Southern Gal um, describe, although she's not describing Mrs. Steve. She's describing her grandmother, but Mrs. Steve drove quite like this, pretty much as Southern True Crime has depicted her grandmother. That's pretty much what Mrs. Steve did. Oh my. Let's see what's going on. I'm trying to get caught up with chat. Yes, I agree with you, Miranda. Farmer, he is. He is funny. He has his days. Peggy's car evidently got stowed by her dog. Says Peggy says I've had a few tickets. Worst one was when I ran into a store for a couple of things, and my dog tried to drive my car. He hit another car. Yeah, a whole new way of a dog chasing vehicles. So the secrets are coming out. Mrs. Steve loves the speed. She is a NASCAR fan through and through. Witchcraft. I had 3 tickets first 3 months I had a license. Oh, farmer, I am an overweight owl. I eat an inordinate amount of insects from delivering at night. That's funny. Tech Deaf Hippie, good to see you. Gil Hurt. My grandmother stepped on the feed instead of brakes and went through the window at Sears. She was on the front page of newspaper in Plainville, Texas. My dad took her keys, sold her car. Um, I have a great story of where there was a guy I used to work with transferred to another agency, and that agency had a different brand of firearm that was assigned to those vehicles. And he was out in front of Sears at a certain mall trying to familiarize himself with that different firearm when he shot all the windows out of the Sears. Oh man, you had to appreciate. I laughed so much because he said that uh, when the when the round went off and it busted all the glass, he said that it wasn't a crowd pleaser. Yeah, yeah, I can see where it's not a crowd pleaser. Now this is a great bumper sticker. My daughter-in-law has a bumper sticker on her SUV. My driving scares me too. I love it. I'm gonna give Mrs. Steve one of those. All righty, guys. Well, been here almost an hour, and I appreciate everything that y'all do. And I wish I had more for y'all tonight, but I'm about to go in here and I've got to get packed up and get everything ready for tomorrow. And because I don't think I think I after I get all my work done tomorrow, like I said, I've got about 8 or 9 hours of cold case work, and then I'm going to be heading west. So I'm going to try to get a few hours of sleep tonight, and I've still got to, like I said, this morning I brushed my teeth and everything in the Walmart parking lot. So didn't shave or anything, just but y'all stay safe out there. Appreciate y'all coming in tonight. Had a great time. Y'all made my night, and so I'm gonna go get cleaned up. And if anybody, I'll probably go through the YouTube channel, see if there's anybody out there. If there is, I may stop in for chat for a few minutes. But anyway, appreciate everybody out there and everything y'all do for me. And thank y'all. And we'll see you soon, guys. Bye bye.